Hello, hello.
Oh, hello, everyone.
Hi, guys.
We got 3 people on here. Hopefully,
Mhm.
this is a new startup of a show. There's not going to be no set dates that
Nope.
is going to be for the show, but it's going to be like randomized whenever there's enough, kind of like we do with the food Park and Eat.
Yeah.
When there's enough articles like newsworthy,
Yep.
I will start to do one, and then I will try to reach out to different people.
Mm-hmm.
That way we can have different opinions on different news articles at the same
course.
time with new people in the chat.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And new people in the stream. So
Yep.
that's what I'm going towards.
I love the idea.
It might work.
Yeah.
Especially if someone is open a certain night and then they, I don't know when that night is ever going to be though until the news comes out.
Right.
So
Right.
it's randomized.
Mm-hmm.
Well, this was big news. I mean, let's face it.
Yeah, it keeps it alive.
True. It does.
Yeah. Doesn't bother me at all.
Either.
Yeah. I got some of these up and ready, but not all. And I'm going somewhat from what is newer to a little bit older.
Okay.
So the photo article will probably be towards the end.
Okay.
That this was based upon, which was a 5th new park. We have a different ideas of what that could entitle, and if we have enough time, we can kind of dive into that.
Sure.
And dive into the deep water and try to talk about what does that entitle.
What?
Is it a new entrance into an old park? Is it a new entrance into a brand spanking new land, new park? We don't know what that entitles yet.
No, we don't.
So, yeah. There's a lot of things you can consider with that.
Absolutely.
Notion. And I know Disney has said nothing about it to its excellence.
Right.
Because we're used to Disney doing that.
We are. I mean, even with the movies, they say very
they're good at switching course in the middle of without telling anybody. They are very good at hiding projects, starting on one,
They're very good.
Killing one project and starting on another before anybody fully realizes of what's happening.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, and they always post things with just enough time for people to get excited. Try to see if there's a date there, and then most of the time, the date that it's open, it's already full.
Mm-hmm.
Before they talk about the news article. Yep. I'm like, I want the first day.
I mean,
Disney. Why? Yes,
but
the full theatrics.
There's also the other thing, Richard. Think of it this way: a week from Thursday, Disneyland is going to be packed to the nines.
We already know that
because it's the 70th anniversary.
Number 1, 70th anniversary.
Yes.
Probably high chance of
going to be
the CO of Disneyland. Isn't it the new chick?
I don't know who it is.
I thought it was.
I don't know.
It's the new chick that is over there.
Oh, really?
Yes, if I remember correctly.
Okay.
She will be out there probably. Great. I know they are bringing people from Disney Imagineering, which is
they're basically bringing
down the street.
They're bringing everybody.
They're bringing out everyone. We know of 2 fantastic people that we love, which is Josh Gad.
Yes.
For sure. Yep. And then, if I remember correctly, one of the original people that started Pixar, if I remember correctly, is coming.
Yes, I believe so.
I don't remember his name. I'm not that much into Pixar, but I'm
John Lasseter, I believe.
Yeah.
I believe it's John Lasseter.
John Lasseter, probably. Yeah, I think it was him. So those 2 will be on for 70th anniversary day, is I think what they're calling it.
Yeah.
Roughly about 2 weeks away.
It's a week from Thursday.
Yeah, week from Thursday.
Which is going to be fantastic. I guarantee you it's going to be a great day. A lot of merch is going to be sold that day because everybody...
A lot of new merch probably just for one day only.
There's a ton of it.
Probably new food just for one day.
Yep.
festivities. They're probably going to have some concert people there.
More than likely,
some kind of mariachi band. Probably. A lot of times they like to do that in California Adventure.
Maybe, but you know what?
And there's also going to be the Disneyland stage of that too.
Correct.
Which is probably going to be a new parade if they can do that in that short amount of time.
I don't know.
They might, or bring back
to do it.
They could bring back an old one.
They could.
There's a bunch of things that could happen. Probably going to be an extended fireworks day on that day too.
I think that's what they said.
Yeah.
I don't remember what they are planning here today, but
and maybe an extended.
The line's going to be long getting into Disneyland that day.
And maybe an extended water show too, and TCA.
Maybe because of World of Color.
World of Color. Mm-hmm. I got to see an extended version once.
Oh yeah, that's right, you did.
And it was the first release video of Turning Red.
Nice.
On the water.
Nice.
It was really cool. I loved it.
Fun. Yeah.
Screen. I'm like, yeah, that is so cool.
Nice.
Okay. I got one. Let's go.
Where are we going first?
Second one. I'll try to get 3 up. I know I have a lot more, but I'll get 4 up.
That's fine.
I'll get 4 up because I did post 4 in here already. Nope, I did not. It was only 3. Okay.
All right, that's fine.
Okay, so we're going to be talking about news, and we're going to try to talk off the rail a lot if we can. Yeah, I don't really care how long this lasts, but some people might have regulations on how long they can be here.
Yeah. I can be here for a little bit.
Yeah.
You know that, and you know why.
So, first thing we can start to talk about, and it came out yesterday.
All right. What is it?
Photos and the full video of the Test Track 3.0.
You know, I've been seeing videos of this for a while now.
Mm-hmm. Beautiful car in there. Don't get me wrong. That's Chevy, I think.
It is.
I'm going to tell you, I don't know if you guys have watched them, but I've already watched full videos of the test previews.
Mm-hmm.
Guys,
they look
I love it.
Really cool. It looks really cool.
From what they've done. Now, granted, I missed the machines where you chose your own cars, but everything looks good. It's painted. The carpeting looks good. The whole queue, the repainting of the cars, I love it. I'm going to tell you.
Do you know for sure if it's new cars or not, or did they just repaint them?
I think they might have repainted the cars. I think the same cars just repainted.
Because they looked it to me.
I don't know. I heard a lot of people going back and forth on that one. Like they kind of look like they're the old ones, but they could have been new ones that they basically just had already painted, ahead of time.
I'm leaning towards ones that they've had, just updated them and painted them and refreshed them. But everything else, it's the carpet's redone.
Yeah.
I mean, the queue for the most part, the only thing that's really redone is that they took all those interactive stuff out as far as the thing. And the fact that General Motors took over
there,
the sponsoring of it, which is brand new.
Yeah.
Brand new.
I think it's good. I think it looks good.
There's also another thing with this is that there are nods to World of Motion in this. That's what I've heard.
There's nods to every single older test track in this ride that they've had.
That's what I've heard. So
that's nice, for people that is kind of like Mikey, where he loves his Figment.
Yes.
Loves people when they nod to the older versions of the ride. Especially not the one that did not have Figment.
Don't remind me of that.
This one did not need Figment. It has nothing to do with it.
Knock it off.
I know. But it's kind of the same premise where they're nodding to the old.
Yeah. Which is a good thing.
Or showing the new.
In the driving section of the car, I'm vetoing the ride.
Yeah. So let's look at a little bit of these cues. They showing a little bit of the lightning lane and a single rider entrance. Nice. We'll have one. I always loved this ride because of the single rider, by the way.
Yes.
It made it so much quicker. I'm like 10 times faster going through that single rider line because no one does it.
You know, here's the question.
No one does it.
Here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. The question is, will they actually need a single rider line? Because with them taking away the interactive stuff, the question is how faster will the lines move? Because you're not standing there trying to do your vehicles, and you can only do so many at those things.
And
so
then
you
here's
wonder
the
if the line's not going to move quicker.
Right.
And I looked at both photos. If you see me flipping back and forth, I was making sure.
Yes.
There's officially 3 lines.
Really?
Yeah, there is.
There's the regular standby line. Everyone can go through the standby line. Everyone can go through the wonderful single rider line if you know you're only going to be a single rider.
Right.
They do not allow double riders. Some
No.
rides do. These do not.
Yeah.
But this one also has the lightning lane in a separate line.
Now that's smart. Finally.
It shows it right there.
Yeah, they do. It comes down to how fast is this going to line without the interactive? How fast is the main line going to move?
Fast,
you don't have those distractions.
I don't know. It matters on how well they put together and how well they thought out the interactivity of the new ride.
Yeah.
There's no interactivity. It's just
there isn't.
They replaced some of the things. You can actually, if you looked at some of the videos, you can actually look out. There's a window as you're going up towards to where you go at the end of the car. You can actually look out. You can see where you've been in the queue.
Yes.
Okay.
They've removed some things. They totally completely.
I'm fine with that too.
Where those machines were.
I think I know why they took them out, because the lines were getting too long for it.
People didn't really care if those were there.
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah.
They don't really care if they could choose their own car and have it so you could drive that car in the ride.
Right. But with those gone now, I'm just wondering if the line's it seems to me the line's gonna move pretty fast.
Oh yeah.
We want this to.
I will say maybe.
Hello,
I will say this. Let me rephrase it. Faster than what it did in the past.
Oh yes, and that line was notoriously about an hour and a half long.
Yes. Hello, Sir Bob.
It was notoriously about an hour and a half long. You were lucky if you could got it into the regular line with 30 minutes.
You were lucky. You were literally lucky if you could get in.
The only way you were within 30 minutes is if you were within the line within the first hour of Epcot. After that, you can expect it to go from 90 minutes to 2 hours.
Yep. I've seen it at 4 hours before.
But now I don't think you're going to see that kind of time on Task Track. I think you're going to see
I'm hoping it will allow it to go faster.
But not that kind of a wait.
But how long do you think the ride's going to be this time?
I think it's going to be a 25-minute wait? To an hour and a half, because I still think they'll get long lines. But I think they're going to move faster with the interactive.
I'm thinking maybe 25 minutes at the most.
I think it's going to move quicker.
But let me ask you this question, Richard. How about this?
And number 3, also talking about this. The lightning lane is talking to this photo. The lightning lane and the single rider lane used to be in the same line.
Correct.
Now they're not.
What about this, Richard? What about the ones who are in the scooters like me? Because now you're going to add time onto getting.
I don't know what the regulation is for the ADA.
Yeah.
Not quite sure on that.
I don't know how that's going to work.
Yeah, that could be either one of the 3 lines that they could put you in.
That's what I'm wondering.
They might have an option that you could basically scoot to the front of the regular line. Maybe. Or they might just put you in whatever line's the lowest.
Right.
At that time.
Who knows?
That could mean that Lightning Lane could have ADA.
Okay.
I
was just curious.
It's people paying.
Yep.
If they're paying, then they
if
should
you're
get
paying, I mean,
I understand the point.
Oh yeah, but let me ask you this question seriously. Now, when most people go to Epcot, normally they run towards this ride.
Of course.
Do you think on the opening day, it's going to be 4 hours long. I think it is, because everybody's going to line up.
I heard rumors, but that when it first comes out, they're thinking of using the pass.
Virtual queue
pass. Yes,
that's smart.
At least for the first.
That's smart though, because then
month or so.
Yeah,
get the gears running for it.
Mm-hmm.
Make sure that when it does run at its full capacity, it is able to hold as much people as it can.
I think it's gonna be.
They did that with Ratatouille when it first came out.
They did, yeah. Mm-hmm.
And with Rise of the Resistance.
Oh, Rise of the Resistance, let me tell you. You had to know exactly when to hit that button, because I tried to do it and I didn't get in.
I tried. It took me a while.
But you had to know the tips and the tricks to do it.
So this is a new GM.
You got to there's a little bit luck to that too, because even if you know when to do it, you just never know how fast the Wi-Fi is going to work.
Yeah.
So I had a little bit of a trick to that.
So do I.
One of them, don't use the Disney Wi-Fi.
Mm-hmm. That was
use a hotspot.
I just use my regular connection.
Use the hotspot, and a lot of people said it refreshed a lot quicker. So,
yeah,
it's a thought. Yeah, for that one.
The other one,
use a hotspot.
The other one was to have yourself ready to go, and then as soon as your clock hit 7 a.m., hit it.
Yeah,
like exactly at 7:00:00. I mean, I saw the most amazing tips and tricks for this. So
I did too.
Yeah.
I've also, the first time I attempted to try to do this for the Rise of the Resistance,
Mm-hmm.
I did not get a queue.
I didn't either.
But I did try to enter into it, but I was 3 seconds late.
Ooh.
It filled up in 3 seconds.
That's how fast people. I mean, it's like people were on like 3 to 5 different.
We're gone.
Yeah.
So and then obviously,
exactly.
I got a better chance after 2 o'clock. I will say, if you're not a morning person,
I am,
and you don't like waking up at an hour before the park opens, bright and early, 7 o'clock, 6 o'clock. No,
you make sure you get up at 6 or 8. You have everything set, because this is how I got Guardians. That's actually how I got Guardians.
If you're doing the rope drop, that is the way to go. I have to admit that.
Mm-hmm.
But there is the 2 o'clock.
There is
that
the 2 o'clock.
There is the 2 o'clock entrance, and I swear that one does not have as many people as the early one.
No, but the mornings you might as well. But you need to be in the park.
Go towards something else, and then get the 2 o'clock.
But
and I did on that first time, and it worked.
Here's the other thing, Richard. You need to know where you can get a good signal too. Because that was one of the big tricks.
And I know there is websites out there. There is some websites out there that tell where the biggest Wi-Fi is on Disney property.
Mm-hmm.
Number one of the biggest ones. People might be surprised. It's everywhere in the nation. Starbucks.
Ta-da! Yay, and that's where I'd be. Mm-hmm.
They still have their own Wi-Fi while they are in the park.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
And their Wi-Fi is not as much because it only entitles the building itself. You have to be inside the building for you to use that Wi-Fi.
That's right.
You have to know the caveats on that one.
Because when I go to Starbucks, sometimes I do
nice little details. Yes.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Do not, just grab a water and sit and kind of stand inside.
Yep.
You don't need to pay for anything.
People do that.
And you don't need to pay for anything. And then you will get a better Wi-Fi than that's already at Disney World, already on your cell phone.
But you know what, too? Here's the other thing. Now, if you go to Disney Springs, there's 2 of them.
It matters on what they do with that.
So what I would do is I would go to Everglades and get my breakfast and then go over to Starbucks.
I could consider that, except for the fact that when they start up the passes, if they're going to do that.
Because more than likely they're going to.
The first month, they did it so you could not do it from Disney Springs.
Really?
You could not use the Wi-Fi from outside of the park.
You're kidding.
But Disney...
So you had to be in the park then. Wow.
In the park, but there's still Starbucks there.
What about your resort?
He has to be inside the park.
Even at your resort?
Nope.
Really? So that's why I couldn't get in it.
For the 2 o'clock one, no.
But for the 7 o'clock
one. For the 7 o'clock one, you're finding out that there's people not in the parks yet because they're not open yet.
Yes.
So
I've seen people.
You're seeing 10 to 100 times more people than you would on the other one.
Yeah, I know.
I just don't like the stress of trying to figure that out.
Me neither. But I did it anyway. It was great.
I love this photo. This is an entrance that you can look through. It shows a wonderful new GM their testing vehicle. What a new vehicle would look like for them. I think it had a name. I don't remember the name of this little guy right here. I like the little things above them. Kind of look like lily pads.
I do too. I
Anyway,
like the
it's
cloud.
fine.
Hi, Gloria.
Hello, Gloria.
Good to see you, Gloria.
Hello, Miss Thibodeau. Okay. General Motors has a light against it to make it look all cool.
That's beautiful.
Beautiful. Simplistic. We love it.
Well,
they're showing a better picture.
I'm glad to see at least one of the car companies still sponsoring that ride.
I agree with that. Yeah.
Yep.
I don't exactly like the company, but at least it's being sponsored.
Now that's cool. I like that vehicle.
This is probably one of those sand racers.
That's cool.
That is one of the cars they probably use on the flats.
That's
salt
cool.
flats. Yeah.
That's really cool.
USA.
Someone ought to be run out of town for that design.
I love it.
I know. It looks pretty cool. It's aerodynamic on the top and bottom.
I wonder if it flies.
It could. That's the one could.
It looks it.
It looks like
let's look.
Head.
It says right over here, the displays start with the era of 1910 to 1970. First car guest pass is the Astro 3 car concept from 1969. Oh,
that's a cool
wow.
Thing. That's really cool.
That's really cool and almost like modern like this day, but that's from 1969.
It does. I like it.
Holy Toledo.
You better go underwater.
Yeah, that does look like a James Bond car, doesn't it?
I'm sorry, but it looks like some James Bond would drive and go right into that.
That's true.
Man.
Very true.
Now if John Travolta was just over here. Come on.
That's cool.
Newer car, probably more aerodynamic because of the air vents in the front and middle.
It looks nice.
It looks nice. Kind of looks like an Audi.
Looks like something.
Oh, the
first
earlier cars. I wonder if the front opens.
It does.
It might.
No.
Like front does not open. The side opens. I can see the
I still think crease. It looks like it should open from the front. It looks like Steve Urkel's car from.
Yes.
Two more cars. The train center from the exit of the World of Motion. The original Epcot attraction that Test Track replaced is featured in one of the videos playing on the queue.
That's cool.
Oh, yeah. That is the original concept. And they had.
I remember that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like how they build a car kind of thing.
I remember seeing that in World of Motion when I went.
Yeah.
Okay.
They still have it.
Details, guys, on the look at this whole picture, not just the car things, but look at
behind it.
Look how fresh the carpet looks. I like the interior.
Look at the lighting too. It's so bright in there. I like
it. A fresh, clean look.
Yeah,
and I like how bright it is too.
I like the colors of it. It just gives it that.
It's the blue, yeah.
It's more
almost like that futuristic that you.
It's a lot more brighter too, if you look at it. You know.
Okay. And 3 display cases feature information about reducing waste, recycling, and concentration between innovation and sustainability.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Oh, I can see what they're talking about.
Yeah.
Plastics.
Mm-hmm.
From the earthers.
Yeah.
It shows the different soil levels of what that does. And then lasting progress, which is solar panels.
Yeah.
On top of cars or greenhouses or whatever too.
Yeah.
Would work. Probably the EV plug-in in would be one of those.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
There are smaller silver models of different retro futuristic vehicles.
Nice.
They didn't say what they were. They don't have little plaques on them, but I bet you for a person that is a GM aficionado, they could probably name them off.
Yep. But they look nice.
They look nice. Very Tronish.
Very, very.
Okay, we already looked at this.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. They turned it into a museum in the back when you
That's smart.
It can be smart. I agree.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
The loading area a lot brighter than it did last time.
Yeah, they repainted this area obviously again. There shows the blue carpet that is brand spanking new, and you can walk on rubber to walk onto the lane and to the new cues. And yes, those are new signs.
And they look bigger too.
They do look a little bigger.
From what I've seen on the thing, they're no bigger than what they used to be, Mike.
Okay.
Just freshly painted and updated and cleaned. Now, see, I'm telling you, the cars almost look like the same, just repainted and updated. Giving them
different to me.
They could look different. This is them. It is 6. It's the same scenario they had before. It looks the same. It might not be much different.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they cleaned them up, made them look nice.
See, that's what they needed. I mean,
they looked nice before. It's just that they were starting to show wear and tear.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they were showing their age.
They were showing their age. Yeah, it's fine. Test track exit.
Look at that exit. Oh my gosh.
Gorgeous.
That's pretty cool.
That's neat.
Now, here's another thought too in the future, not that far in the future, I hope.
Yeah.
I know Disney just collabed with F1.
Yeah.
I know it is for a new a new F1 car, and it has Disney logo on.
I wonder if they're going to turn the test track vehicles into those.
They could. Something on the line of F1 racing, anyone?
I've never watched it, but
I don't think. Yeah, they're always there. It's just way more popular, not in the U.S., but
it's mostly in Europe.
It's growing in the U.S. because of Las Vegas.
It's growing in this country, but NASCAR's got it by. I mean, NASCAR still dominates in this country.
Yeah.
Of course they do.
And it'll never beat NASCAR because NASCAR's been here since late 40s.
Right.
Since the 40s on.
The only way they can beat it is by you looking at the worldwide, not just the U.S.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but you're just talking here in the U.S. I mean, because over in Europe, it's F1 Formula racing. No doubt.
It's huge.
Yeah. But you never know because here's the thing. I think NASCAR is growing over there. I mean, because look how baseball's growing over there. Football's going over there. I mean, and you still have their natural sports of their type of football, and so you don't know.
Now, here's my question with this.
That's a cool
with them doing this, the F1 thing, do you think they're going to make a movie out of it? They could.
They could.
Because that background looks like a movie background to me. It does.
Yeah, they could make Taste Track the movie. Why not?
Ooh, why not? They've already done Haunted Mansion.
They already done
Jungle Cruise.
Jungle Cruise, which became popular.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and they did. I mean, think about it.
They did a few Haunted Mansion.
Tomorrowland. I don't know.
They did the Tower of Terror before.
Yes.
Yeah,
well,
there's a few options out there.
I'd love for them to do, but I don't know if they do it.
It's a small world.
Well, that one would be a good one, but
as a movie, like
Small World would be great.
Make it a documentary, put it on the theaters, and make it dive into each and every country and why they were represented in.
You know what? I love that idea. Seriously, I love that idea.
I love it.
Mm-hmm. Now, all they have to
I
do
like this idea, little photo. It's cool.
I like it. It's
Merle.
neat. Very nice.
It's Chevy, so there's going to be somewhat of the newer Chevy looks. Everyone's going to be talking about the cars.
Mm-hmm. I wonder if anybody's ever bought a car from here.
Don't know.
No, but I've seen people talk to the people from Chevrolet there.
Yeah. The Corvette Z06.
That's nice.
Yeah, it's really nice. Yeah, I like that car. Nothing really. There's a new EV, I guess. It's showing the power of EV with a lighted cable.
Now that's neat.
I'm going to tell you now, I do not. I like some of the hybrids, but I do not like the electrical cars.
Why?
Yeah.
Because here's the problem, Mike. They're starting to charge for some of the electrical stuff.
Why?
It's going to cost you more to charge the electrical than it is to pump gas.
Yep.
And I already see it in the state of Florida happening.
I already see it in Seattle.
I've seen
there's not as many of them either.
Here's my thing. This is why I'm following. Here's what, because this is one of the big things I'm talking about. Talking about vehicles here. When I go back to Michigan and I turn the car I got in now, I'm going with a hybrid Maverick. Here's the thing.
Hybrids are good, especially for traffic.
When the battery runs low, I can switch to my gas, and the battery will recharge itself while I'm driving on gas.
Nice.
That's why I like the hybrids, but I do not like the electrical ones because the government's going to find a way to charge you more than what you would pay at the gas place. And I don't,
of course they will.
You said you see it out there, Richard? I know. I see it
Seattle.
in Florida.
Jersey, I've seen some, but not a lot.
So, off to the next article.
Okay.
We had a nice, livid talk about that one. I loved it.
Mm-hmm.
Now we're going to get even more livid. Eat to the Beat has released their concert lineup for Epcot International Food and Wine Festival.
Now, mind you, I know when the menus come out, I know that you and I, Richard, will do it on the parking.
Yes, they wait a few weeks after they release this until the menu comes out.
Yeah.
Concert lineup. This is for anyone that is around Disney World around these times, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
Let's talk about Journey as the first.
That's a good choice.
Concert.
That's a good choice.
With 4NRS, but it's with Journey. Right. So that is two different bands. Journey is iconic. Everyone knows them.
Oh, yeah.
Mercy Me, it's going to be Christian, but it's very popular.
Mercy Me is a good thing.
KT Tunstall, I do not know him, but he says it's new.
KT Tunstall, yeah, that's new.
Toby Mac.
Richard, look at September and look what I see. Tiffany is coming.
Yeah,
now
Tiffany's coming every year. She has one spot at least.
I see Joey Fatone and Friends, so that's gonna be a good one.
Now Baha Man is always popular.
Woo! That's a good one.
Because they had one big hit. Yes, they did.
Yep.
The Fray, that'll be good.
Oh, the M80s.
Everyone talks about these.
Everybody in the Disney community who we
not only
love
that,
the M80s.
It's 3 in a row. So October 21st to 23rd is the M80s. Then right afterwards is Hoobastank.
But
who in the heck knows what Hoobastank is?
But Richard,
I know Hoobastank pretty well.
The M80s, it's Hanson.
I don't.
But then right afterwards, everyone will be talking about this new one, Smash Mouth. They're new for this year.
I don't even know who they are, so forget it.
Smash Mouth. They did the soundtrack to Shrek.
Oh,
that's that group. Yeah.
Well, Hanson.
And they were also in. They were showed on the very end of Rat Race. If you remember that movie. Hey now, I'm an all-star. Did you game? Yeah, that's.
Oh
them.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's
that song. I know what it is. Yeah.
They have like 7 to 8 pretty good popular songs. In my opinion.
The M80s are gonna be like everybody.
Yeah, M80s are gonna be huge.
Yeah.
I haven't heard a big bad Voodoo Daddy. Everyone loves to see him there.
Who's that?
Boys to Men. That's going to be very popular with the girls.
Oh yeah. But look who's at the end of this thing. It's the Beach Boys.
Yeah, Bowling for Soup and the Beach Boys.
Interesting.
And not only that, I have not heard from Jordan Sparks in like years.
You know, it's funny. I remember when she won American Idol, believe it or not.
Now she's on this.
Yeah.
She got a name in it. So
yeah. So
maybe it's a new CD. I don't know.
Maybe who knows?
Who knows? Yeah.
I would say this: the lineup looks good.
I love the lineup. Now I noticed that they're not repeating a lot of times either,
which is good because in
a way, yeah. Mercy Me does repeat once.
Right.
No, they don't. It's just
none
of them repeat really.
No.
Okay.
But
I remember years past when they used to have some that did.
Yeah.
Kind of like they're like
the M80s did.
M80s usually play 5 or 6 times, but this time it's only M80s 21st to the 23rd. That's 3 days.
But also too, Richard, remember that's during Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween as well. So not only are you gonna have that, but you're also gonna have Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween too. So during this entire schedule.
Yes.
So that's going to be interesting in itself because now you got to pick which one do you want to do.
Now, just so anyone is wondering, October 31st to November 1st, Big Bad Voodoo Daddy was the original.
Who is that?
He did the original voice acting as Oogie Boogie in Nightmare Before Christmas.
Oh, now I know who he is.
Yeah, he's
the one who did Oogie Boogie in Nightmare Before Christmas.
He'll probably do a little bit of reminiscing of that one.
Well, he better.
It is on Halloween, exactly.
Now, take your pick. Would you rather go to that, or would you rather go to Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween?
I have a preference, and I've done the Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween.
I've never done it.
I've done it once. I wouldn't want to do it again, but I would rather watch some of these lineups than that. So I would say this, and I would probably go towards David Archuleta. I remember him.
I remember him from American Idol too.
You know what? I would like any of these. I would prefer the
one that I would probably want to go to.
I'll go towards Smash Mouth because I'm like the lone star in that one.
I don't know, because some of them I would want to see, but others I'm like,
Smash Mouth is they count themselves as like beach music. Kind of like
Beach Boys. What do you mean by beach music? Do you mean like
very hip. Something you play on the beach,
like Hawaii music.
And Mike,
what?
Here's something to think about too. You said about if you had the choice between going to the Eat the Beat and Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween.
Yeah,
I would think about it this way: if I could get a good deal on a meal and the Eat the Beat, I would probably go to that.
What?
It's a lot cheaper than going to Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween because the tickets are skyrocketing constantly. And the
absolutely. The tickets
are getting them.
I would just recommend
package tickets for this always sell out quick.
So get these as soon as possible as you can.
I would say
whenever when they open up the tickets. I don't know when that is.
Yeah, I would say book
right there
your travel agent right away.
Right there. Reservations will open on July 16th,
which is a week from next Wednesday.
Week from yesterday, roughly.
Yeah.
So, Dave, do you have that written down for you? Because that's when that stuff's going on sale. And let me tell you, people are going to be booking like crazy.
If you could get some of these tickets and then you could try to give,
right,
wrangle some people in your community.
Absolutely.
They might go through you to get their tickets.
Yep, they might.
It's a thought.
Yep.
Now, who's to say, yes, reservations, but who's to say how much they're going to cost?
Reservations for Epcot.
What is the starting cost this year to get into these?
Me? I already know. I kind of have a guess for this. With the bigger ones, are you ready for my guess? $199 up.
It could.
I'm not kidding.
I know it says reservations. I know it does not cost. It does not cost to go to the concert because they don't block it off ever.
No, but
if you want to stand in the back and listen to them, you're fully inclined to.
Here's the thing with this, okay?
But the seats?
Oh, yeah.
Yes, you do pay for them, but
you do.
Only if you get a dining package.
Bingo. And every time I've seen it on streams, it's like you get the dining package and then
and that's prime seating. Now, and I've seen this before where I got there about an hour before. I got to say it was not the Eat the Beat, it was the Broadway one.
Yes.
Whatever
that's Broadway.
Yes, Disney on Broadway. And for me, it was the Festival of the Arts. It was Lion King.
Yes.
Very cool. I loved it. But what they do with the dining package seats.
They block off a section.
They, number one, block off a section, and they put things over the seats that tell that it's reserved.
They do. They do.
And they know how many people reserve it.
Yeah. And, the one good thing about that is that you get to see everything. You can hear everything fine.
My problem is it's a little loud up that front.
That's true. It is loud.
For me. I'm like, I almost need a...
Not me.
Yeah. At least one ear.
Yeah, Broadway.
Now,
I'm like...
Don't get me wrong. If it is someone I really do love, I do not want to have my earbud in. But if it is someone that I'm like, I know he's going to be loud, I would wear the earbud. And that's
I get that. Believe me. So, Dave, anybody on this list you'd want to see?
There would be a few I would go see, but nothing that stands out.
I would want to see Joey Fatone and Friends.
Except Tiffany.
Yeah, Joey Fatone and Friends would be really cool.
Tiffany would be the only
and ladies would be good.
Because I'm very peculiar about Jefferson Starship. Because I've been there I was there when they were Jefferson and Starship growing up. And then when they turned in regular just Starship. Journey, I do love Journey, but I don't know who that other band is.
But still, it's Journey.
I do love Mercy Me and Toby Mac. Because Toby Mac was the original.
Yep.
Yeah, I get it.
Actually, Toby Mac came from Liberty University. He actually started with 4 guys from there,
Oh wow!
And what band was it that it dissolved shortly after a few years? It was a Christian band, and I'll have to do research on that.
So if I had my choice, now I love my community. If if a lot of people decided like they did last year, where guess what, we're going to the M80s. There is going to be
them, they would all go to the M80s. If I knew
and
that.
They had
2 people in particular.
There was a few people, and they were dancing in the front.
And you know who I'm talking about, right? You know who I'm talking about, right?
Oh gosh, they were dancing in the front.
You know, yeah. If you're thinking about the same person I am, yes.
Yeah. Okay. Well, you know what? They are having fun. Whatever.
Absolutely.
If I had my choice, and I wasn't thinking about the M80s.
Yeah.
If I had my choice, I would go towards Smash Mouth or Journey.
I would do M80s myself. Just to see.
Yeah.
You know.
I would do one thing. You know, the one thing I would be doing about it though, I would end up getting the food package to be the
the food package.
You know what? I already know where I eat.
Yep.
I wouldn't.
You know, you guys we were talking about the prices.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, the prices are a little bit expensive.
Yeah,
but they're still far cheaper than they are for the Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween.
Well, the Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween is going to be the same price, I think.
No, actually, Mickey's is more higher than what the Eat the Beat.
Really?
Yes.
How much higher are they going this year?
Because the Eat the Beat can start down to like $179.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Mickey starts at $199 and goes up.
Goes up to about 300, 325.
Depending on the date.
And then it gets higher and then obviously Mickey's thing gets higher as it goes on.
Yeah.
Yep. All the way up until the 31st, probably.
31st, and then it's Christmas in Disney. Woo!
Yeah.
No,
it is not.
Even the Christmas tickets
no, it is not.
November 1st is when
here's the thing. You know, what everybody don't understand about the price tickets is that they didn't move the bottom.
Right.
The bottom didn't. You know how they said they were going to drop them a little bit? They didn't. It actually increased.
That doesn't surprise me.
They only increased the top.
Yep.
They always do
and they left the bottom.
But the thing is, though, is that even Mickey's Not So because when we were talking to Richard the other day, when we were talking about Oogie Boogie Bash, I mean, those tickets are, I would assume,
that's a whole other world.
But here's the thing: everybody wants to go first night, and everybody wants to go last night. Usually,
guess what?
But then it's in between.
I'm going to Disneyland.
Oh yeah, that's right.
When Food and Wine Festival is there.
Oh yeah, that's right. You are going to that. That's right.
Yeah, that's next year. But
I know.
Just send all the wine and food to me, and I'll be okay.
Food and Wine and California Adventure.
Oh well. But you know, I think it's a good lineup. I really do.
And a third one.
So this was yesterday.
This happened yesterday.
Yep.
They do this every year.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of times it's the people that live at Golden Oaks have golf carts that they theme.
Yes.
Some people went overboard this year and did other things.
Oh, nice.
Not just the golf carts.
Oh my.
The entrance into it was the horses of obviously, and it's from Fort Wilderness.
Right.
And this is at Fort Wilderness anyway.
Yes.
So those are Disney horses.
Yep.
They get pampered, everyone. They do get pampered.
They
are their own princess.
They are. They are.
Or prince.
Well, whatever. Anyways.
Yes, they do look gorgeous. You know what? I love horses. Okay. They had this rolling out, which is, let me show the second photo. Disney World Company.
Nice.
Your World of Happiness. It used to be one of the ones that he used in Main Street, really.
That's right.
I'm amazed that they still have that, and then I'm amazed that they didn't bring out the xylophone, xyloscope, or whatever they call that makes the music.
Yeah. Yeah, that
but
one.
whatever. It's still, this is still beautiful and really
Yeah.
cool. I love it. And if anyone is wondering, yes, that is a American flag up right up above it.
That is. Yep.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
4th of July. We got some responders.
Yes.
Obviously.
Ready.
You don't really get to see the logo for the responders for Disney World that much.
Very rare do you see it.
We got to see it a little bit last year because there was a Skyliner instance that it got stuck.
Yes.
And these guys are the ones that help.
That's right. Mm-hmm.
They're right outside of Disney World.
Yeah,
if you know where to look on Sunrise, you can catch a glance of it.
You can see them.
Yeah. And then fire department, fire district.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Battalion 3, that is them.
Yep.
Yeah. Yep. Somehow someone figured out how to make a hamburger and they put it on top.
Very interesting.
Just need the golden arches on top.
Yep, that's your McDonald's right there, Dave.
Just need the golden arches on top.
No, thank you.
I like that one. That's cute.
That is cute. That's adorable.
That's adorable. 4th of July. Oh gosh.
Now this is something.
That is just outright ridiculous.
They put a bunch of floaties on their car.
I think it's great.
Well, that is
Maybe
the 4th of July.
They were going to float down the cement.
Exactly. They wanted to show that this is also the time that you always go on your water escapades.
Yep.
With sorts of inflatable pool floats, balloons, and flags.
I think it's great. Nice.
Yeah, M&Ms and Sweet Freedom.
Yep.
Okay. A lot of sugar things.
Definitely different.
It's not the most unique one, but look how big this flag was for theirs.
It's huge.
Yeah, that the flag is bigger than the card itself.
It is.
That shows it better for that.
My goodness.
Yeah, that's a big flag.
It's huge.
Okay.
Very
Not
nice.
my favorite one, but it had a bunch of Disney balloons and had some kind of eagle on top. That's a floaty. Okay. I still haven't got to my favorite one. I've looked through these already. That last one had a cow for some odd reason.
Oh my.
That was waving at people.
Oh my.
Yeah. Whatever.
I get it.
It just
Yeah.
Nice. Nice.
In July. That's what that reads in front.
Nice.
Very cute. Not my favorite one. That's pretty cool. I like that.
That's different.
Yeah, Land of the Free, and then it has a Mickey and Minnie on the top. They went all out on that one. I like that. Okay. And they also had a Mickey in the back.
Nice.
With, I believe, a Minnie, but you just don't see her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
that was devotion.
The creativity is good.
Yeah. I always like these. This is the second time usually, or first time in a year that they do this.
Yeah.
They also do it
for other times too.
They do it for Halloween, I know for sure too.
Oh, Christmas, they go all out.
And the Christmas one, you don't really see the cavalcade on Christmas, but at least the Halloween one you do.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. The Halloween ones, woo, some of them go all out.
Oh, that one had a dog with them. Oh, that's cool.
That's nice.
Doberman, their pet.
It looks like a horse sitting in there.
Exactly. That's a huge Doberman.
It's huge. Yeah.
Looks like a horse sitting in there.
Yep. Fort Wilderness Resort and Campground.
Okay, so this is the Fort Wilderness.
Probably one of their cards.
Cast members, yeah.
Cast member.
Mm-hmm. Because I know when the cast members get involved, they go all out.
Yeah.
That's cute.
I like it. Different photo. settlement trading post. That's
I remember that you could vote.
Yeah, you can vote on these and which one's the best if you wanted to.
You can vote.
Yeah.
I don't know how to vote, but I have voted before. Yeah. But it's very nice.
And then there was a nice little Stitch one that had a lot of like Hawaiian theme to it, I guess.
That makes sense.
And not that themed that much, in my opinion. That one was pretty cool. Different kind of theming.
Different.
Still haven't got to my favorite one yet. There he is.
You know, I was waiting for somebody to do Sam the Eagle for the Muppets.
They did it to exactly the Regal Eagle Smokehouse, which
I
is
love it.
Sam the Eagle. Yes.
That is the coolest thing. I think that looks great.
It's kind of funny that they don't create that. They created that themselves. That's not an inflatable.
That is very impressive. How they did that is amazing.
Foam. Yeah, they did lots of foam.
I love it. I think it's great.
Lots of foam. Exactly. That's one of my favorites. Yeah, I would have voted for him. Oh, there you go.
Carousel of Progress. Yeah.
Not that much theming though. But
yay! But that's okay.
A lot of people are saying this looks a lot like the ride
it looks
vehicle.
like the opening scene.
The opening scene or the ride vehicle. Yeah.
Yes.
For Carousel of Progress.
And just did not look
right. See this. Oh my!
Nice.
Oh my gosh! I know what it is.
It makes it look like he's on the John.
No, he's in the bathtub.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it just didn't look right.
He's in the bathtub.
It looks really strange. Whatever. I'm okay with that.
He was the one that I get no privacy.
Oh, there it is. The driver and the passengers were dressed as characters from the attraction.
See?
Which focused on Uncle Orville in the bathtub.
See, I know this right very, very well.
I didn't see the first two people though very well.
No.
One has a blue shirt right there.
Right. That's supposed to be June Shepherd.
And then
you got the Statue of Liberty with Patty from the
Statue of
ride.
Liberty, and then the one in the pink with the.
You need to go on the ride again and see it again.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I knew of it.
Interesting. Ohana family. Okay.
Nice.
They had a guy in a girl in an inflatable eagle suit.
Boy.
Nice. This was one of the more themed ones.
Now this is very creative. How they did this is amazing.
Sherman tank. It's really, I know exactly how they did this. That's all cardboard. I don't know the lights, but that's all cardboard.
That's amazing that all that held up.
Number two, the side that looks like the tracks, that is this pipe that you lay underneath the ground.
That's impressive. I'm impressed.
That's impressive, really.
It is.
Number three, and because I read this before, this was one of the only ones, but it was interactive. It shot water out through the gun.
Oh my goodness.
Decorated to the military tank, had an interactive element with spray.
Wow.
There it is.
Neat.
There's the back of it.
It's nice.
It's cute.
It's different.
You
know, but I like how they did Carousel of Progress.
Okay? And I'm not showing the video, but they do have a video for anyone that wants to watch it. It's on WDWNT. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I'll plug it a little bit, but they always do really good on showing these cavalcades.
They do.
You know, speaking of the 4th of July, did you guys get to catch any of the streams yesterday or Thursday from the fireworks?
I did.
No.
I did with one person.
If you watch the fireworks in the Magic Kingdom, this year was better by far, the best fireworks that they have in the last few years. They really went out. I mean, they didn't just have 3 or 4 spots. They used about 6. They did,
and I swear for a lot of the stream I was watching, They said it lasted about 15 minutes longer than usual.
It did. They had at least 6 shots fired fireworks, and it was outstanding.
It was a little long. A lot of people don't like them that long, but that's fine.
It was gorgeous.
It's gorgeous.
With the lighting and all that, guys, you guys would have, you got to understand, I spent 7 years in the military.
Right.
To me, it was outstanding because it's patriotic. So, I mean, you know, but my point, the thing of it is, see, Disney, when they want to, can outdo themselves. And they did this year with the fireworks.
They can.
Why are they not using that imagination to the rest of the stuff that they're doing?
Don't ask me. Here's my thing, Dave, with this.
Because Dave, the fireworks guy that is always for Disney has not died. He's been doing it for like 30 years.
I wonder, is there a plan in place, if you know what I mean?
He knows what he's doing. He's the best in the world. There's a reason why.
Yeah.
Disney.
But also, too, I will say this. What are they going to plan for next year for the anniversary? They are going to go all out next year. I mean, in more ways than one. That's what they're doing. They're saving up.
I fully expect next year might have a interactive element or drone.
You know, I'm waiting for them to do that.
They could in Disney World.
I'm waiting for them to do drones, honestly, at this point.
They're just twiddling their thumbs right now for that. They already got all the rights on the air to do the drones.
But are they going to do the same drone show they did last year over in Disney? Because that drone show last year over in Disney Springs was amazing.
They'll make their own. They always like doing their own.
That was amazing last year.
I loved it. And I got to see that a few times.
I'm going to tell you like this. I don't know if I ever sent you guys the link to the drone shows of a graduation that I watched this past year. They used well over 300 drones.
My goodness.
I'm telling you, if Disney could do something like that.
They already have in Paris.
Spectacular.
Yeah, they have in Paris, but they're still learning in the U.S.
What about in the Tokyo? Because I think they're doing drones over there, too.
In Shanghai, they are.
Really?
Beijing.
Oh, wow.
Beijing, they are. Yeah.
Oh, wow. But, you know, I think that, you know, so.
Okay.
All right.
Get that going.
You ready to talk about the other stuff?
Yep.
All right.
No, I'm still trying to get these articles going.
Okay.
So how do I do that? Okay, there. That.
Because I think it's going to be interesting to see what they do with that.
So these are the last 3 articles because I don't want to last that long.
Yeah. All right.
That we'll be talking about. So let's go with the one that is the photo. This is one of the articles for that. 5th theme park at Disney World approved a 2045 plan.
Good Lord.
It's a little long ways away. Yes, it is.
Good Lord. I'm going to be, let me think.
They have a huge article on it.
In my 70s.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. I'm going to be in my 60s.
Y'all will still be kids. I'll be in my
This is going to be for my kids and the kids after that, you know.
But, you know.
So this is for the 2045 comprehensive plan. This meant that the 2032 comprehensive plan was deemed null and void, and that the prior 2020 comprehensive plan would remain in effect until the new plan has been approved.
So what are they talking about?
This is CFTOD, so the Central Florida Tourism Oversight District.
Yeah.
We always had a little bit of problem with them, but we do have people in the midst now for Disney.
So what is this supposed to do? I mean, what is it supposed to? I mean, what are they planning on doing?
So, the Central Florida Oversight District 2045 Comprehensive Plan has finally been approved, revealing specific details about the district's plans for land use. If you'd like, you can read the full 400-page document for yourself right there.
No, thank you.
I don't know if you'll want to, though.
No, give me the reader's
they had, think of it, Disney likes going into depth, and they had to with this oversight district. But this is the plan.
Wow.
So we're looking at the legend: commercial, conservation,
right,
entertainment, hotel, resort, mixed use, public facility,
right,
support facility, water, major roads,
right,
and the CFTOD boundary for Disney.
But it sounds like they're going to be expanding again.
Yes, but look how much room you can use.
There's room, but we're running out of it.
The green is what we're using right now. We can expand by double or triple of what Disney World is.
Now start building hotels, please.
There we go.
That's the first thing. Build a hotel.
Hold on.
That's a lot. You know, they will not use all of it. They're only going to use one section of it to use.
Here's my question with this.
The rest of it, conservation, which Disney.
I understand that because of stuff. I get it. But.
And they did name them. I don't really care about the naming. But still, yeah.
But I do see them adding the fifth park eventually.
Yes.
Yes.
Because you just can't let Universal doing what they're doing, which they're now opening their third park, and not eventually open a fifth to combat it all.
They just opened.
I mean, you just got to get the right leadership in there, and I just don't see Disney having that right now.
Because I'll tell you this, Dave, I'm going to be honest. They're winning.
So the 2045 comprehensive plan,
yeah,
I'm trying to read part of this, is views a major theme park as being on the scale of Magic Kingdom, Epcot, Hollywood Studios, or Animal Kingdom.
Correct.
With the estimated roughly size of about 445 acres.
Makes sense.
There are currently 4 major theme parks at Walt Disney World, and they're hoping for another one, obviously, if they're hinting at that. They have 445 acres they can use.
Do you think they would build another park?
Yes.
I mean,
without a doubt, yes.
But with that, you're going to need resorts, you're going to need transportation, you're going to need a lot of things.
Here's my thing, though. In my opinion, the Disney is not doing this yet, but I think they're going to start separating some of the things out, like they kind of do with Animal Kingdom, Magic Kingdom, Hollywood Studios.
Yeah.
Why not have it so Pixar has its own land?
Thank you. I would love that.
It's a thought.
It's
out there, but they're already building the cars, which is they just approved it, and they're just like, we're not going to move that.
But you know what?
But
the thing is,
this puts it in the plan of them thinking about doing it for 2045, which by that time they could move necessarily that new thing.
But what would you?
Because it'll be older by then.
But what would you put in its place?
I don't know.
See now. The one thing.
Frontierlandy.
Let me ask you this question seriously: with this 2045 plan, would they take what they said before Epcot?
Yeah.
Would they bring it? Would they do it?
There's a lot of inclinations.
Would they do it?
There's a lot of wondering and inclinations with this article, and I'm sorry. I'm not going to try to look through 400 pages of Disney.
I'm not either. because here's my thing. Here's my thing now. Because
it's fine. And we know it's happening. But you know what? Think of it this way. For all 3 of us in our head, we probably won't see this that much when it happens.
More than likely not.
More than likely not.
Probably.
Hi, Jason.
2045. That's a little out
Jason,
there.
Good to see you, Jason Thibodeau.
Good to see you. Good to see you.
You know, I could still be around. I could
I'll be around.
I could be working at Disney by then. I don't know.
Do we all agree? Do we all agree somewhere along the thing in the next 20 to 30 years they're probably going to build a fifth park?
Yes.
The problem is we may be able to walk around it, but we won't be able to enjoy as much because we're all going to.
Hello, it's called scooters and rolling.
That's true. We can still go there, Dave. You'll be in your 80s and I'll be in you'll be in your 90s and I'll be in my 80s, but we'll still be there.
Heck yeah, me too.
I know. I'll still be in my 70s. Thank you. You might be in your 80s, but I'll be in my 70s.
Dave, I could just.
Oh gosh, I think you're a little older than me, dude.
Dave in a scooter. This I gotta see. Mm-hmm.
Oh gosh,
I'm not kidding.
Oh, now, me in a scooter.
You've seen me in. Oh,
I
no,
would run over.
I'll still be walking around like my grandfather
run over feet.
Excuse me, I've literally almost ran into somebody, and they went this way, head going this way, right over me.
I had someone jump over a cart before, and I've seen it.
I'm going to be like my dad's dad. I'm going to be in my 70s, and I'm still going to be able to outrun you like he did my mom and cocoon my mom in toilet paper.
Nice.
And he did that when he was in his mid-70s to 80s.
Good Lord.
And that was running up a hill.
Let me ask you this question seriously.
On a different note, I'm going to go. We're all smoking. I'm going to try to become. Yeah, I'm going to try to become a little bit more serious for this next article.
Yeah, sure. What is it? Good.
And this is something close to Dave, really, also.
Sure, what is it?
Okay, well, what are we talking?
Disney finally had an incident on water.
I just heard about
this. Now, they have done an update since this article. This is the first article. They have done an update since then, and the FCC said that the kid was not placed on the rail or anywhere near a rail.
That's what I've heard.
They were playing shuffleboard, and the kid somehow slipped between the rails and went under. Now, the dad did dive after them. They were both saved. No instances happened, and there's not going to be no lawsuit that I know.
That's a good thing, but I can tell you.
But here's the thing.
Even if there's no lawsuit, they will still be fined because that happened.
First of all, hats off to the dad.
Yes.
Hats off to the dad.
Jumping over the rail to go save his kid off of the ship.
And both of them survived. How they survived, honestly, is a miracle.
Absolutely.
You know how they survived? Because Disney will do this. I believe in the next few days they will show this, but they'll be like, this is how they survived. We already planned for this to happen sooner or later, because literally it will sooner or later. So they plan, if you watch Disney Cruise Line people when they're on the ports, they plan going off the ships, saving someone, going back on the ship while it's moving.
Mm-hmm.
And they do it in roughly about 50-something odd seconds, which is amazing, really.
Yep.
That counts going down. So they basically drop the rope and go boom.
Here's the thing. You're talking about
that's what they did.
14 foot. That's a 14-story foot fall that they took.
Yes.
If that had been cement, they would have both been smashed.
Yes, it would have been. It was on the way
from. Here's my point, guys. I've jumped into water. If you're coming from a certain
over there,
height, if you don't hit it right, it's like hitting cement.
It is.
Trust me, I know.
Yep.
I've had to do that off of high platforms in the Navy, and it's like hitting water.
Dave can kind of promote this.
The propellers that they were near. Does it say if they were near the front of the ship or the back, Richard?
It's mid-ship because
mid-front.
When I watch Disney Cruise Line vlogs, I see where the shuffleboard is.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know where it is, so I didn't know.
Let me ask you this, because
now here's my point on what Dave was talking about, though.
Go ahead.
They didn't have no people. They showed someone recorded them doing this thing.
Yes.
It's out there.
They made
there is a video.
Yes.
But no people were harmed. No people were dived off of the boat itself when it came down. Now, my point is for Dave, those boats are made to be dropped like that.
Yes.
In a way.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the boats are made to drop.
The boats are made to drop, and there were people inside of them when it happened. So we don't get to see this experience really. Fine.
But a human to hit water like that could cause seriously harm.
Well, yes, it can. But they're already trained to do it. They do it every port. They train every single port.
I'm talking about the father and the child, not the people. Those people are trained to go in. Yeah. I'm talking about the father and the dad. They're not.
Oh yeah, the father and dad. That's amazing. You know,
absolutely.
I was talking about the father and the dad, how they survived.
So that shows the ingenuity of Disney itself.
Disney to recognize and turn around and go
on
back.
How quick they can do the turnaround.
Yeah.
So Disney did
everything. Also,
hats off to Disney.
Absolutely, but
they're just like this happens, and they're just like, yes, this has to happen sooner or later. It's going to happen. There's going to be things like this. It's going to randomly happen, and even though Disney had a clean slate up until now,
it
was going to.
Why not prepare for that instance happening, and then show the other people, show the other ships how it's done. How the best people do it.
Mm-hmm.
And that is Disney.
But also, too, with this, too. Now, I'm coming from a very different angle on this, okay? Now, since this incident has happened...
By the way, the mom did... There was a mom, dad, and kid. The mom did not jump in, but she did throw a buoy down into the water.
Right.
Just so anyone is wondering, the dad was not treading in dead water. He was with a buoy that had lights on it.
Because I was going to say this too.
It was in pitch black.
See, this is where...
Yeah, you understand what I'm saying.
Oh, I get it, Richard. Believe me, I do. Because I
knew this would become heated with this
one. I've seen where the shovelboard... place is on the ship, but I have also seen wet spots on the same area. So now, are they going to have to put something near there to block?
They could, and
you know where I'm going with this, right? To block.
I thought they mostly have. I thought there was a.
I've seen it. It's been.
I thought the bars there. I thought the bars were here, and then they put some plexiglass. But I think the kids slipped underneath the plexiglass.
So if
they need to move it down,
now they're going to have to bolt it to the floor.
Yes,
which means now you're going to have to go on every ship, every single one, especially the newer ones, and fix it. Literally fix them all. Hello, Hapex Ghost. Welcome in. Good to see you.
It's a spirited talk. How can they fix something like this happening? It's a talk. Like you're talking, move it down, make the glass hit the ground, and make sure it's
make sure that
against the ground.
You know what they should do is do it, but here's the thing: do this when they go into dry dock, which is they dock the ships and do everything. But what about the newer ships? Now that this has come out, how are the newer ships going to make sure that the
two new ships that's coming up do not have CDC regulations because they are from different countries?
I get that, but what I'm saying is with
the third one you're wondering about. I don't know what that is.
No.
But CDC.
That's not what I mean.
the CDC is regulated differently for every country.
Right, I know that, but what I'm saying is, with this out now, how are the newer ships as well as the older ships within the DCL fleet now? They're gonna have to look and see how low that plexiglass is, because now they're gonna.
I think it was underneath. I don't know for sure. It's still up in the air what happened.
Right.
That girl could have climbed the bars.
True. But the fact that,
and they are not releasing the video.
I understand that. I get it. I get it for legalities and all that.
But
I get it.
We will get to see that once they release the article.
Well,
they have not yet officially.
Dave, seriously.
Yeah.
You've been on ships before, okay?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me ask you this question, because
this is going to be
you've been on ships. You've been on ships, okay, with stuff like this. Now, you've said that the decks are usually slippery anyway.
Yes.
Let me ask you this question.
They can be.
For someone who is quote unquote different, I'm not blaming anybody. I'm not, that. But Dave, how far can plexiglass go until it physically hits the deck itself and you can't get underneath it at all?
Now, I don't know if that's what happened.
Yes. Hi, David T. Welcome in. But
I could say that is something that could have happened. She could have tried to climb over. The plexiglass could have been too low.
Here's the other thing.
We don't know what happened.
Have a grip. Because even for me, I need grips on my shoes for me to, to get a good balance too. So, I'm looking into I don't know. Maybe
this is a deck that they call it the running track.
Yes. I know where it is. It's on deck 4. I know which one it is.
Deck 4, sometimes 5.
It's deck 4 and 5. Yeah.
Yeah, deck 4 and 5.
But seriously, Dave, how?
And the problem with this deck a lot of times is you're looking at deck 4 or 5. That means that there is water sometimes if the waves are big enough.
There is,
to flow into that area.
Yes, and I've seen it in videos. I've seen it. So
that is how they become wet.
Even
so
on
now, how are you going to? I'm going to say this: keep guests safe.
Well, when that is happening,
bolt it to the ground?
When that is happening, they do not allow people on that deck.
Okay,
they're correct.
They close off the doors. They're like, you're not going out there. We're having bad weather,
especially if it's raining. Because I know they did that on the Elation.
Or if there's a storm,
they closed the upper deck where you can suntan.
There's implications.
Okay.
And I know that's how they also wash off the top deck. And that deck. They do that roughly about 3 to 4 in the morning.
They do.
Every morning.
On
the ship.
So at this point, what do you think they're going to do to basically keep, now
implication
barrier at some point.
Now, how did this happen? In my opinion, sometimes the bars in between each one is a little bit wide.
It is.
And some kids could go through those.
Correct.
And that could have been how she went through.
Absolutely.
But if I remember correctly, there was a glass barrier, but I don't remember on that area, though, very well. And we're going to have to see ourselves for what the CDC says.
That's what I'm wondering.
They have the video of what happened.
I wonder how they're going to...
If it's something CDC relatable, they might implement something for all cruise ships.
But here's the thing.
Kind of like they did with the masks years.
But let me ask you this question, Richard. Seriously.
Yeah.
With this said, does that mean all cruise ships, and I'm saying all cruise ships, no matter which fleet you're in and all this other stuff, are all of them gonna have to go to dry dock, fix it, and then bring them back out? Or how's this gonna work? Because
CDC will give them a certain amount of time.
Okay.
But then some of the cruise ships like to be more lenient than that, so they will pay fines and they do not care.
Of course.
Like a lot of things, some of the ships, because of their age, may be grandfathered in.
You know what? Well,
they may unless
are any of the DCL ships grandfathered in?
I think the first two are,
because they're newer under the.
No, I think the first two ships are grandfathered in. I think if you had to make sure with that one, but I think only the first two are. DVC is quite new. They really only had two ships in the early 90s. So that would be the ones that would be grandfathered in, if so.
Hey, Richard, you need to read the comments because
you got two different theories going on in there.
Yeah.
Hatbox Ghost, I read a different article, and it said on this article, it said, hey, he sat the kid on the barge to take a photo. CDC said there is no he did not do that at all.
Right.
The problem was it was gossip.
See, this is where it's
like, I heard that
it was gossip that
happened, but I did hear that it wasn't because he said around the
it was gossip, and Disney basically CDC basically retracted, saying Disney did not do that. We have the video.
That was the first opinion, though. That
was their first opinion. Like they did not do that. We know for sure that they did.
You better read the other one, Richard.
And
you better read the other one from David Tay, because that's the next one.
Decorative porthole. Yeah, that's what they said. Also, decorative porthole. But
see, because now you're gonna have to
use that. I don't know what to think about that, because the decorative portholes in Disney on those things I thought had glass in them.
That's what I thought too, and they were inside. Yeah.
Yeah. I read it too, and then I looked at a different.
Hi, Pete. Welcome in. No.
Oh
yeah. I knew this article would get a little heated. And that's why I put it towards the end.
I will say this for Pete on his comment. That can happen on certain parts of the Virgin cruises, and I know that
would not be on Disney. That would not be on Disney.
Not on Disney. No, that would not be on Disney.
Not on
That's all I'm saying. That's all as far as I'm going.
Not on Disney, but if you're looking at Virgin or Carnival or Princess.
If you're looking at one of the party ones.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, maybe. Because they have done that before.
Yes. Yeah, there's only one cruise line that'll do it.
Well, Carnival
I'm just saying.
Carnival and Virgin. I think Carnival would do it.
He would.
Okay, where? I don't see nothing.
He probably posted onto Instagram. Go look over there.
Oh. No, I don't see nothing. Mm-mm.
Okay.
Nope.
Anyway, that was a nice, rivalry heated document.
Well, can we please get on to happier topics, because this is depressing.
Wonderful. I knew that was going to become a little
but
heated.
You know what, too? This also shows how responsible Disney is.
Yeah.
Compared to other cruise lines. Seriously.
So it shows Disney's regiment,
which
they are really known for.
Yes.
Regiment and customer service.
Absolutely.
That's what they're in cleanliness.
Absolutely. Anyways.
One of the last articles I'll be showing today.
Oh, yeah.
The rare look inside the backstage Disney feature animation Florida building.
And I know where that is.
Where Lilo and Stitch was animated.
Yes, I saw this the other day, and I was like, I've been in that building.
That is the building.
I've been in there many years ago.
It says animation on it in the very front.
Oh, really? Oh, wow. Is she okay?
Oh.
Oh, boy.
Okay. So she might know a little bit more information. That's fine.
Right. Yeah.
And if so, maybe have her contact me or Dave sometime.
Yeah.
We would gladly try to do a talking about this heated document.
We could.
Dave could. I know he would want to.
Obviously, some of it is going to be.
Yes.
Now it's going to be a lot of this.
Usually you're not able to talk.
You're not. I know for stuff you need to sign an NDA, which is a non-disclosure agreement, and you cannot talk about it for, I believe it's a year plus. Now with something
unless the article came out and shows it. So
okay, I've seen this because I remember being in the animation building over the Hollywood Studios when they were doing Hercules, and I will tell you, it is an amazing place. I miss it.
So you got to see that probably.
What? Yes, because when we went in the animation building at the time, we could see the Disney artists at work right there drawing.
Yep. And by the way, if anyone
them drawing Pegasus.
Let me see it. It's not up there, but I know they have one somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
But those are stretched posters that they use at the theaters.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
I gave them one of them, or not. I sold one of them to them at one time. That was a Snow White one. It'll come up sooner or later. It'll get to be debuted, and then they'll probably invite me over to look at it.
But I'll tell you this, though. That was a really good one because it was really cool to see the animation building again. Is this the
Pixar Hotel?
Makes sense.
No. Okay, Dave. Dave wasn't listening.
No.
Rare look at the backstage Disney feature animation Florida building where Lilo and Stitch was animated.
And I was in there many years ago.
Many years ago, you were in there. They are using this a lot more. This is the building that animation got moved to from California.
Oh, back in the stage. Okay, that's back.
Well, then why don't they reopen it to guests again? Because I would love to go in here.
Because now it's made for movies.
The last one I think they were actually working on when I went through there.
That's what the building looks like. That's the outside.
I want to think it was either Treasure Planet or Beauty and the Beast. But I could be wrong. I'm not quite sure.
Beauty and the Beast got to go through. Well, when I went in 1996, they were working on Hercules at the time. So, and it was really cool to see. I loved seeing it.
Okay.
That is gorgeous.
Shows original drawings.
Mm-hmm.
Small selection
really
on the
cool
first floor. Building Picard the Magic Disney Animation Tours.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wait, so yes. They do the Magic of Disney Animation Tours still.
Oh, they do still do them?
Yes.
How do you get on that stuff?
I would not know.
Oh, I would love to do that again.
Yeah, I'm trying to read up on that. Yeah.
Yeah, because I want to do that.
Yep. They had a whole article inside the feature animation today.
It's beautiful. Man. Yeah.
Oh.
Yes.
Yes.
I want to do this.
Look at that.
That's Mr.
I need to do this for.
Yep. That is the original Mr. Toad's ride that they had in the 1950s.
Mm-hmm.
This is Disneyland.
I want to do this tour.
They moved it to Disney World.
They did. But the interesting thing was that when Hollywood Studios was it changing at the time, they moved the animation back over to California.
Yes, and now they moved it back. So
I want to do this tour. I am not kidding.
They probably have limited tours still. They would probably realize on if they're making a movie at that time or not.
That's fine. I wouldn't mind either way.
And I like these glass photo things.
Oh, me too. I love this stuff.
Now, if for me, they made another one of these in California.
Yes.
And they placed it in the Grand Californian Hotel, the Disneyland Hotel.
Right.
And I got to take a video of the history and these.
Oh yeah, that's right. You did do that. Mm-hmm.
And it was so beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
It was made differently, but they reminisced off of this hallway, which was really cool, I thought.
Mm-hmm.
Display case. Yeah, they did that to this. This is for Alice in Wonderland. And if anyone is wondering, black and white and the color.
I love how they did this because.
And then this is Meet the Robinsons. That has to be the Meet the Robinsons.
It's really cool the way they did it.
I love it because it all looks like musical instruments, in my opinion.
It does.
Yeah, I loved it.
I see a harp, the
case has over 50 background prints and sketches from Disney animation films, including Meet the Robinsons, Alice in Wonderland, and Hercules.
Where is the caterpillar? Leave me alone. Where's the caterpillar? Who are you? Mm-hmm. There's Stitch.
There's Stitch. This is an inside joke to anyone that works at Disney. You can buy food from the Brother Bear's shop. That is basically concession stands in the very far corner.
I'd be fine with that.
They have a whole name just for that one small area.
I think it's great. I really do. I like how they're using it.
Hey, gotta make something interesting.
Bingo.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Does this say atrium and stairway have the same color scheme as much as the same decor as the animation days? Seen in these pics from 2001 and 2025. That is 2001.
Yep.
You might remember what that looks like.
I was there in 2000.
Yep. And now this is 2025.
It
they took away
the same.
They took out the art prints is all.
Yeah.
Basically.
So I wonder
because they cycle through different art prints from that one area now.
That's great. I like that.
Yeah, I like it. Dumbo. Yes, the original Dumbo ride did have vehicles that look like that.
Yes, they did, and I was on one of them years ago.
They don't, I don't think.
That was when it was in Fantasyland and not New Fantasyland.
Yeah. I'm glad that they have one of those.
Yeah.
They have a little tiny restaurant over there. I can't really read what that says, but
neither.
That is a menu. I see it from here.
Wow.
Right?
That looks like a menu to me.
That looks like a menu to me. I want to know, what can you eat at the
That's what I want to know.
Oh, God.
I want to go in there,
the inside backstage restaurant,
It's beautiful. I wonder if they have anything with the Figment.
They might.
Are we still getting a Figment movie? Because I hope so.
Yes, we are. But it's going to take a little bit of time. Yeah. Original desk, probably from Walt Disney.
Yes.
He's had a few. The main big one,
big one is in Walt Disney Presents.
Yes, it is.
That's what I thought because I knew.
Yeah, and this one might be for one of his other people too. It could have been from the Nine Old Men. I don't know.
Could be the Ollies or
whatever that other people were called.
Yeah.
It doesn't say who it came from. It just says a vintage animation desk.
I wish we knew who, because that was
yeah.
Look at
that. Of course, look at their art supply.
Oh my lord.
Oh,
and they have oh my gosh.
That I see 4, 5 different kinds of yellows.
And they all have different names.
Yes, they do.
As far as I know, because the wonderful, I believe, now.
Oh, they did a zoom in.
Hey, I like that.
Oh, burnt sienna. Look how old that building, that container is.
Let me ask you this question, Richard, and maybe you know the answer to this. Seriously.
Oh, wait a minute.
That was back in the old days, the way they painted things.
Yes, yes, it is. But Dave, this one says Disney Cobalt Green.
Ooh, I know what that means.
There's Disney's Regal Rose.
Wow, it's beautiful.
Yeah, they had different names.
Yep, but they had.
Let me ask you this question, Richard.
It would be different. So like different colors and colors of it.
There's Disney Highlight
Yellow.
Something. The yellow.
Richard, did Mary Blair name all the colors?
No, it happened before she was there.
Darn! I was hoping she would name all the colors. Darn, had to ask.
Color naming was probably one of the old 9 Old Men, I would expect.
You know, I would love to know
high point
who named the colors, because I want to meet them if they're still alive.
Probably not. 9 Old Men, there was only one still alive. That I know of. Am I wrong, Dave? I don't know. I
don't think any of them are alive anymore.
I thought one was still alive.
I know that the Frank and Ollie have both passed.
Romby?
No, wait a minute. Raleigh just
Raleigh just passed. I don't think there's anybody that's.
I don't think there's anyone. Raleigh was the last one, and that was.
Yeah, I would love to know who came up with all the color names. That's what I want to know.
Yeah. Oh yes.
Oh, wait a minute. Is her name? Wait a minute. I need to know. Is her name?
Some of these are from 2001 and 2002.
Wow. I see Roy E. Disney.
Yep.
Wait a minute.
April 6th of 2001.
Wow.
Now, my question is, Mikey, when in 2001 were you there?
I was there in 2000.
Oh, 1 year off. Roy Disney was there in 1 year.
I know. It's okay. It's okay.
Chris Sanders.
Okay.
Claude Spencer. All these are animators.
Oh, yeah. These are all the animators.
Yeah.
Nice.
Michael B. It's all good.
Yeah. Nice.
And I can't read most of the rest.
No, either.
Cammy Cardigan Jr.
You know what?
Her middle name.
You know what? These could also be the voice actors of the.
Yeah, I believe it says main people. A lot of the main people.
Yeah.
Oh yes.
Oh, look at that.
So this is the voice actors. They got their autographs right above the drawing of them. So
wonderful.
Andrea Dia is the original voice actor for Lilo and Stitch as Lilo.
Yes.
And this was from 6/8 of 02.
Yep.
With Alex, I can't ever say his name.
It's okay.
Good and Gesundheit.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
His name is always a little strange to say.
Yeah.
The former mailroom is a wall of preserved animation team notes and sketches, including the autographs of Clark Spencer, Chris Sanders, and Roy E. Disney.
You know what's interesting, because everybody knows Walt's over the signature very, very well, but seeing Roy's is just amazing as well.
Yeah.
It's really cool.
put it this way.
Mm-hmm.
You're seeing Roy's autograph in 2001. That was pretty late.
Yeah. Yeah.
When did he die? Did he die?
I don't think Roy has passed yet.
I don't know.
Let's see. Let me look. Hold on a second. I'll check. Just a minute.
I thought he did.
I don't think he has. I don't think. Hold on. Hold on.
Yeah, he died.
Oh, yes, he did die. 2009. 2009, he died.
Yep, 2009.
And then, yeah. Wow. That is so, like, impressive.
Yep. So he still had 8 years after that. He was at that time.
I'll be right back.
If I remember correctly, he was CEO at that time of
Right.
Disney.
Right. Hold on a second.
So, yeah. I thought that was cool. I'll go try to find one or more articles until he comes back, and then we can get off of this if you want to. It was a fun article. Let's see. Did have other
articles.
Yeah.
Okay. About that.
I'll go for one more article. Is all.
Yeah. I am gonna head out because I'm literally like, it's time for bed for me. So it was good seeing everybody. Good night.
Yep.
Good night. Good night.
Yep. Hopefully everyone has a great night. We're just about to end it. Yeah.
Anyways, have a great night, guys.
Have a good night, everyone. Please do like, comment, and subscribe.
Yep.
Watch for us doing more articles like this.
Yes. Absolutely. Absolutely.
See you, everyone.